Hey nerds! I hope you're having a great day. As you can see, I'm currently doing Grand Conquest and hating every second of it. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually enjoying it a lot more this round. Just maybe it's because infantry are just boosted on most of these maps that I'm doing. Either way, I wanted to, just take a bit because you guys have been snarky in the comments and also very hopeful in the comments, so I wanted to bring it back down to reality a bit. But since we're talking about reality, I figured I'd show you my next tier list for 2.9. So here you guys go. Wow. Odin, geez, buddy, you really blew up. You're now the unit everyone wants, the unit everyone needs, and I can safely say that is exciting. But no, in truth, I think a lot of you can kind of agree that I don't know if Odin is going to be able to really make a comeback with his new weapon. A lot of you were really excited about that, but I'm really kind of worried about him. Just a bit, okay? Just a little tiny bit, because I like Odin, I like Owain as units, and, well, I don't think anything's really going to bridge that gap when it comes to the 22 natural attack he has, which is quite abysmal considering the fact that every other unit that happens to have a tome usually has over 30 attack and has something else going for them right now. So Odin's kind of not going to be doing too well. That's kind of the reason why he has the Blade Tome in the first place, is to try to make up that deficit that he has when it comes to attack. Unfortunate. But I'm not saying don't count him out just yet, but a lot of people are like, well, maybe it'll be an Alm situation. The thing is, Alm, when it came to creating him as a character and when he was introduced into the game, he wasn't bad. He was just kind of middle of the road. He was a middle of the road Falchion user who, didn't really excel too much outside of what he had, but he had a good stat line. He had a lot going for him. He had attack. And then, of course, when the weapon, the whole weapon refined system came in and he got his double lion on his Falchion, everyone exploded and he exploded and, dragons exploded. Mostly because they were being killed by him. But you still get the idea, right? I mean, unfortunately, I don't think that situation's going to happen with Odin. Unless it's a Blarblade with a Dire Thunder, effect. It's probably not going to be happening. However, there are a few things in the game that I think could really make it and excel very well for Odin, mostly because of his stat line. His stat line, great, everything except attack. So, what would make him really boost out of it? What would really do great? Well, in his game, Odin's Grimoire, Fates, it doesn't really do too much with what we can actually do in Heroes. In that game, it made it so when you crit, he did 4 times the damage. It was a lot like, I think, another tome. I forget which one it was in that game, but it was a lesser version of that one, and it worked really well. It did okay with what he could do. It was just, that. But there are no crits in Heroes, and there's no saving him with that. Instead, I'm thinking, well, technically in the game right now, there is, well, quite a bit of unused data, quite a bit of unused effects, and something that I feel might really excel for him is kind of becoming the anti-meta in a sense, or the anti-good stat. I don't know what you could really call that, but give you an example, okay? Heavy Blade in the game right now exists in the fact, that it basically gives you special cooldown the more attack you have over a unit. But there's also the adverse in the data. There is currently sitting in the game unused data for anti-Heavy Blade, where essentially the lower attack your unit has, the quicker the special bar will fill up. I think if you were to do anything that was tactical to be with Odin, it would probably be that. It would probably be making him that strong with that ability. That's just my guess. That's my interpretation of what I think they could really do with Odin. But I want you guys to get creative. Is there any way that you can see that they would make Odin amazing? And for those who are wondering, well, didn't you have a 5-star Odin Sages? Yes, I did. But he kind of had a Serpent Tome, and as much fun as that was, it was a lot better on another unit, so I kind of killed him because I killed a Morgan for that. Yeah, it was a fun experiment, but I feel bad. The ghosts of a haunted child are, coming back to get me still. Nonetheless, Odin is probably not going to be saved with this patch. Unfortunate. That's just because, well, BST is set in stone unless they figure out some way to change that. Now, let's focus on Cherche. There's a little bit of an oddity going on with Cherche, but then again, there's always been an oddity with her. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen every single piece of art that she has, every single one of them. But in those, she is wielding a weapon from Genealogy of the Holy War. It's known as Helswath, and it has been a weapon that has been not only a signature of her, but also her son in some situations. And it's always been something that's just been featured in her artwork, and it really kind of boggles my mind in some ways as to why they picked her of all things, but yeah. Ironically, of all things, she also has it in her Heroes artwork too, and well, why? Why exactly? You'll notice that in the game with Heroes, they're not going with Helswath. They're not going to give her that. Instead, it's just a generic weapon named after her. Which makes me wonder if they have plans for that, because technically it is... Well, we should be getting a genealogy banner, at least a little bit later this month. Well, going into the next month. And I'm wondering if they're saving that axe for someone else from genealogy, or at least going to give it to someone else, because it seems very strange that they gave all of this promotional artwork to Cherche, and then they didn't even really bother to give her her weapon that she's featured with. Granted, it looks like it's just going to be Helswath, but a little bit different colored, or something else, I don't know. As for Cherche in general, I'm not sure if anyone's really going to use it unless it's something crazy. She's already really incredibly strong. A lot of you swear by her. I swear by her when I use her armor busting, capabilities. A lot of you give her, go crazy with Brave Axe and all this other fun stuff. So I'm not sure if it's actually going to be usable. I'm not sure if that's something, people are going to be too inclined to actually take up. However, it is good to see her as, this possibility, this thing that could be happening very soon. Maybe they're just going to give her an armor-busting weapon with an additional effect, much like, Nephany and things like that. It could really work out in favor, who knows? But, goodness gracious me. I'm just not sure what to think of. I'm kind of sad that they didn't go with Helswath, just kind of sad a little bit. Next up, though, let's talk about Celica, because a lot of you keep going on and on about why she needs a refine and if you really think she needs it, and, well, admittedly, she's not really a mage that is really hurting, when it comes to certain other units, Odin, but, it is something that I think, you might want to get more advantage out of it. I'm sure maybe they'll just give her double lion on that weapon. I'm kidding. God help us all if they actually do that. But Celica, I think is probably the only character who I really think doesn't necessarily need a refine. Especially since she already has, 2 other versions of her, and she just recently came out with another one. However, if you are to refine that, I would say probably, you don't need to keep that, HP threshold with that kind of thing going on, I don't think, considering that a lot of the other weapons now, especially characters like, just off the top of my head, Ishtar and all that fun stuff, they already have an additional effect that just boosts everything out the wazoo. However, as a character, I just really can't think of what you're going to be doing with that refine. Seriously, it really is mind-boggling to me, because she technically does have Ragnarok Omega, but that was something that she used with her sword. God, it's really, really hard for me to think about this. What do you guys think when it comes to weapon refines? Do you think Celica needs it? Do you think Odin can be saved? Do you think Cherche is ever going to use her weapon, unless it's something insane? I want to hear you guys. Sound off in the comments. Do you think that? I don't think Odin can be saved, unfortunately. I think Cherche's weapon really depends, and Celica, well, I mean, she already uses Ragnarok. It's not going to hurt if she has an additional bonus, I'm assuming. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm really worried about Odin, guys. Really badly. Poor guy. Alright, nerds. I'll catch you later. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I'll see you soon. Bye!